So he ain't gonna be nothing. You see, and all that shit is stupid. Just like Farrakhan and the rest of them. They're just a bunch of old has-beens.
Bobby Supernova.
You know, just old has-beens and shit, you know. Mm-hmm. What is he now? He you know, this nigga, he just aligned himself with every goddamn preacher you can see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he never aligned himself with the Afrocentric and conscious community. But he aligned himself with them old gravy head ass preachers.
That is true. You got a good point. I never looked at it like that.
That nigga shit. Look. That nigga damn colon been fucked up ever since 91 when he first started coming down with that shit.
Jeremiah, right?
Farrakhan.
Farrakhan, okay.
You don't be no spirit man and your colon fucked up like that. That means you doing some shit wrong.
He got what? Rectal cancer?
That nigga got all kind of shit up in his ass. Mm-hmm. Like the Tin Man. Pipes and tubes. And ice cubes. I don't know. But you don't, ain't no way you a holy man and you be sick for almost 20 years.
Yeah, good point.
Now, the only reason why he's still around is because black people, they don't know the other side of his. The people out in the, you know, in the country, they don't know of the other side of Farrakhan. That he's been in with the man. So they keep him alive because they don't want that icon to die.
They need him basically.
Well, no, they know that black. No, I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about the spirit world. That's why he ain't died yet. They know it would hurt so many black people. You see, with Farrakhan. But shit, he ain't nothing but the damn Ebenezer Baptist Church now.
Yeah. Now he talking about how he love.
Yeah, he letting white people join the Nation of Islam now.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Well, see, that was a part of. See, he allied with Wallace Dean Muhammad a couple of years ago. They came back together. Mm-hmm. Now Wallace Dean just died. Mm-hmm. So Wallace Dean had white people in the thing. So it makes kind of sense if he just died and he allied with him, he gonna have to bring them people up in there too.
Right.
You see, but it don't matter. They might as well bring white folks up in there. I mean, it ain't shit now, but you know, just a bunch of niggas standing around the corner selling fruit down there. They don't sell bean pies no more.
Right.
Motherfuckers sell apples and oranges and shit.
Incense.
And stuff. No, they ain't that sophisticated down. Them motherfuckers sell apples and oranges
and
they take a fucking ice water, a bottle of water and put them in the freezer. This is in the summer and get them cold and then sell that ice water and shit. I've seen them selling carrot cake, anything they get their hands on.
So all this money is basically for the Nation of Islam?
Yeah, but I'm like I said, Farrakhan got his now. Them niggas, they're probably out there now. They you know, they trying to get their little stuff. But I'm trying to say it's a joke organization now.
It's not like what it used to be.
Yeah. Mm-mm. All them shits is joke organizations now. You see what I'm saying? You know. Now I will say this in the defense of the Black Panther Party. Because otherwise they ain't about shit either. But let me tell you what happened with these Negroes. I went to Philadelphia, this was when Carlet was alive, and the brother was telling us the strategy of we the people that roll in when black people get fucked up as a show of force. And back then I'm like, well that ain't nothing but just damn, you know, you just goddamn, that ain't really doing nothing until some shit happened in Atlanta. There was a woman they killed last year, a year before last. They shot this is like an 80-year-old woman up.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Shot this woman up. And what it is, they broke in the wrong motherfucking house.
Okay, I know what you
shot this woman and killed her and then tried to
shoot themselves or something?
They shot themselves and tried to say that the 80-year-old woman was selling dope.
You gotta be kidding me.
Right.
That part I didn't hear about.
Yeah. So what happened was this. Them civil rights all-stars down there had grown so fucking old. So this shit was gonna pass. Meanwhile, about a year before, a nigga that used to come to my lectures in Cleveland, Ohio, moved down to Atlanta by himself. First that nigga was out there in that black with a bucket and by his damn self. People say he's a crazy motherfucker. Then gradually over that year, that nigga got him about maybe 12 people. 12 or 13 people, even some sisters. So they was gonna let this shit die out with this old woman. Nigga was talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they wasn't gonna do shit because the Civil Rights All-Stars ain't gonna move no muscle. And that nigga went down there. He the kind of nigga when you see him, you turn the other way. You be like, oh man, I don't want to hear this shit this nigga talking. Bobby! I'm like, oh God. Oh fuck. I had to run into this motherfucker here. He picked me up in a car one day and this nigga drive just like he told. God damn, let me get out of this shit before I be hung up on a light pole. So, this nigga crazy as hell. So, good people, but oh god damn, I'm like, oh should I run into your motherfucking crazy ass? This nigga out Khaled would have been running from this nigga. Damn. Okay. So he took it upon himself to do something. That nigga got them 12 or 13, maybe about 15 people. Mm-hmm. And when they had press conferences and shit, and they had some stuff, that nigga showed up. And that nigga put so much fear in them crackers' heart. So the next thing I know, I turn on the news and this nigga got a conference table and all kind of big time law enforcement and white folk, and this motherfucker here in the damn conference shit. as like a legitimate viable organization with all the fucking damn black bouncers and shit, and them crackers was cocktailing to his ass. Yes, Mr. So-and-so. Mr. So-and-so from the Black Panther Party. And I said, that nigga got shit done. Sometimes it's spiritual. You might not have the walk, the firepower, or whatever you. But that nigga put fear in them motherfuckers' heart.
With just about 15 people.
About 15 people. That nigga got them niggas together and they put on that goddamn black. And the next thing I know, that nigga was around press conferences, around a table of people. We trying to get this situation and come to a consensus. And that nigga was up in that shit with white men with ties on and law enforcement and shit. Bug dancing. To his ass, Mr. So-and-so. I said, that nigga was standing around the supermarket with a goddamn bucket in his hand. And they was treating that nigga like that nigga was goddamn
royalty.
The Petraeus. The General Petraeus. They was treating that nigga like he just came from the Gulf War. Or from Iraq. And they was around there giving concessions, and they was around there, and that motherfucker was running that shit. And it with no power whatsoever, but a show of force.
That's it.
And when he got through with them motherfuckers' ass and raised hell down there, they was like, look, go find them cops and put their ass under the jail. Because we don't want this crazy motherfucker to burn down Atlanta. And I say, I knew that nigga was just running his goddamn mouth, but that shit was spiritual. And what they saw was the same thing as the fucking Green Beret or the Navy SEALs. They saw the shit.
Right.
And it was spiritual. Because nobody wasn't going to raise a hand because them niggas is all paid off and they old. They're Civil Rights All-Star niggas.
Right.
And they was going to let this black woman go to grave, and when they got through, they locked them fucking police down in part because that nigga did. And I said, you know what? It's spiritual. I never say that them niggas won't do. Because the Nation of Islam didn't want no part of it and stuff, because you know Farrakhan ain't into that shit no more.
Right.
He's a preacher. Mm-hmm. He got them selling bean pies of fruit.
Yeah.
So this nigga, he took up the slack, and his essence, like I said, man, that nigga, when I got in the car, I said, Lord, let me out this motherfucking vehicle before I be on top of somebody's store. That nigga drive a car like the rally, like the Black Panther rally. The car was moving just like them niggas be rallying.
Crazy tax.
So my point here was, I see him, I go, oh shit. I say, be real quiet. We got, and so I tell her, go down the other street, Linda. Turn around, make a U-turn.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Bobby, hey! I said, oh shit. I gotta hear this goddamn shit, this crazy. But that shit, when that nigga got on the ass,
it worked.
Them fucking priests is on lockdown, partly because of him. Because when they brought the fire, the black community was mad, but they said, oh, in about 2 weeks they'll be mad, but they didn't have no army.
Right.
And he brought the army, and although it wasn't the kind of army that would be a real army, but it was an army in appearance.
Right.
Got 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So when they brought that army, doggone army, that shit made her, I said, okay, that's what the brothers in Philly said. That was the plan. But this nigga made it a reality. He made it a reality. And he was the motherfucker crazy enough to think that he was going to kill up some people.
That it could be done.
It could be done. And as a result, it was a reality in the minds. It translated in the minds of them crackers and them law enforcement. Because it was spiritual.
That's right.
And they was like, oh, fuck, these niggas getting ready to get with it.
Right.
With 15 people, 3 of them motherfuckers was women. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They, oh shit, this shit get ready. This shit gonna burn.
Right.
Yeah, they was thinking this was some more Rodney King shit. And that one nigga hanging around the fucking supermarket brought that shit to that. And when they got through, when it's time for that judge, the judge showed no mercy on them fucking cops. They were like, no, you all like to have our shit fucked up in this city. Y'all like to going to goddamn prison.
No COINTEL gonna save us on this one.
I said, this is spiritual. So you can't say how shit work spiritually. I said, I'll never talk no shit about motherfucking black people's tactic if they are sincere. And this nigga here was sincere enough to believe this shit.
Right.
You see, this nigga was sincere to believe this shit beyond college.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And he was sincere. It translated spiritually in them people's shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And not only that, he had that old woman on the side, because that bitch came to the door with a gun. And she shot at some of them motherfuckers too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because they broke in her house.
Okay. Right.
And she missed and they killed her. Then they shot themselves up.
So she was rolling with that energy.
That energy with him.
All right.
So,